most valued student, my name is Confident. Welcome to our revision session of Mathematics N2, and this is part 2 of the lesson, which I called it Learning How to Deal with Question 1. Now, as I said previously, at times you might find that the exam already starts on a difficult note. You try to answer question 1 and already you find that the questions are in a way challenging, in a way difficult. Now, the psychological effect of that is that it makes you finish the paper in a very, very negative way. At times, it ends up leading to you failing that particular exam just because question number 1 was actually difficult. I cannot say actually difficult, but it was so tricky that you are not able to flow from the beginning. So in this case, I'm trying to give you some strategies or some ideas that you can use so that you can begin your exam on a high note, so that you can start the exam with some confidence, with some assurance that will build as you continue with that particular exam. Usually when you start the exam with some challenging questions, you end up panicking, you end up stressing. This leads to you making more mistakes, and at times it leads you to even already having some despair, thinking that already you have failed the exam. So question 1, in a way, to me is a psychological question that sets the pedestal for you to be able to continue the exam either on a negative slide or on a positive upcline. So that's why I chose to say, let us deal with this question number 1 and ensure that we don't miss anything. Now, the good news or the good thing is most of the answers can be proven with the calculator. Most of the answers you can even test them yourself, so that you can actually, out of 100%, 90% of these questions can actually be tested. So this is what we are going to be doing as we deal with this particular lesson. So I chose question 1 from previous papers, and in this case, this is an old exam which was written in July, 24th of July 2018. I mean, it's just a day before my birthday. My birthday is on the 25th. So 25th of July. So in a way, it looks like a special paper for me. But anyway, I'm saying this was Mathematics N2. So let us look at question number 1 in this case. And we are dealing with question 1. Strictly question 1. I'm not going to be looking at other questions, but this is just strictly question 1. Now I'll encourage you to grab hold of the previous lesson, because this is part 2. So there is part 1 of this lesson. So grab hold of part 1. And also, if you have not subscribed to our channel, I'll encourage you to subscribe to our channel, as well as you can share this channel to your friends and colleagues who are also doing similar Mathematics N2. You can also ensure that that bell is turned on, so that whenever there is a new video that we're posting, you are informed timelessly. Now let us begin our lesson by looking at 1.1.1. It says when it's 2 marks and we need to simplify this. Now I'm gonna make this bigger because I'm going to work it straight from this so that I don't copy it wrong. So this is what we're given: 3 squared e to the power negative 2 f g to the power negative 5 over 8 1 e to the power negative 4 f to the power of 3 g to the power of 3. So whenever we are solving, now one thing that I want to bring to your attention is a few things here. For example, if I'm given, I think I'm going to use 2 laws in this case to say if you have got a to the power of m over a to the power of n, or divided by a to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m. Now, because of divided, you say minus n. That is one part. Or you also have this law which says 1 over a to the power of m is equal to. Now to remove this division line, to take a to the top, it is a to the power of negative m. And lastly, if you're given a to the power of m times a to the power of n, if it's the same base with exponents, you add the exponents, which is m plus n. Now you can grab hold of my lessons whereby I thoroughly deal with this section. You can subscribe. I'm not subscribe in this case. You can actually get hold of our lessons. Just watch until the end of this video. You will find more information on how you can get a full curriculum of these videos, and it will assist you in a way. Now, using any of these laws here, so what I want to do, first of all, you see I've got 81. I have to change that 81 in terms of 3 because already I've been given 3 squared. So I want to change 81 in terms of 3. You can see if I say 3 to the power of 4, that gives me 81. So what I'm going to do then, this 3 to the power of 4 here, let me scratch it and say it is 3 to the power of 4. So what I'm going to have, I'm going to use this particular law here, which says a to the power of m over a to the power of n. In this case, it's 3 to the power of 2 divided by 3 to the power of 4. So what I will have is, I will have 3 to the power of 2 minus 4. I hope you can see that. Times, so I'll put a dot. I do the same thing now. What I have, in a way, I can use for e to the power of negative 2 over e to the power of negative 4, I can use the same law there, which is e to the power of negative 2. Now it's minus, remember to take it from the division sign, it's minus, and then I've got another negative, which is negative 4. That is where they wanted to trick you there. You do the same thing with f. Now when you are not given any power, the default is a 1. So you've got f to the power of 1 minus 3 and dot g to the power of minus 5 minus 3. Since everything at the bottom, when it goes to the top, it becomes a negative. So when you do that, now which is 3 to the power of 2 minus 4, it's negative 2, and then dot, now minus 2, this is minus 4, which is minus 2 plus 4, which is e squared. It's positive. You can test that with the calculator. And dot f1 minus 3, it's negative 2, dot g minus 5 minus 3, it's g minus 8. So this is the final answer that you can simplify this thing. So if you were working on it, so that is how you could have actually simplified it. As I said, if you want to test these answers, it's possible for you to test the answer. What you simply do is choose any values of e, f, and g. For example, let e be 2, let f be 3, let g be equal to 4. So whether it's e, f, g, you substitute. Like just for example, you substitute in the original. So whether it's e, so this will be 3 squared times e, and my e is 2 to the power of negative 2, right? And then times f, and my f is 3 times g, which is 4 to the power of negative 5. I hope you're getting that all over. And then I've got 81, it was the original one, times e, which is 2 to the power of negative 4, and times f, which is 3 to the power of 3, and I have times g, which is 4 to the power of 3. Now when I get the answer here, it's 1 over 1327104. I think you can see that it's 1 over 1327 10 4. 13 27 10 4. It's 13 27, 10, 4. So it's 1 over. This is the answer that that I got there. So now I'm going to use the final answer that I got again using the calculator to see if I get the same answers. So I've got 3 to the power minus 2, then multiplied by e, which is 2 squared, multiplied by f to the power negative 2, which is 3 to the power negative 2, and I multiply that by g, which is 4 to the power of negative 8. So I must get that number, which is 1327104. As you can see, the number is the same. So the answer from the first one here to that, it means it is correct. So that's how I simple check my answers. As I said, you can actually test most of your answers in this case. So we have done the first one. Let us look at the next question, and the next question is 1.2, and this one is 2 marks, and it involves logarithms. So again, if I can work from it directly, if you look at that, this is the question on logs, and with logarithms, there are a few laws that you need to know, and that's what I'm going to apply on these, because whatever they are giving you, you must know that it has got some hints. For example, the key part is bases that you're given. Now I'm given base 8 here, I'm given base 2, I'm given base 7. All these numbers, 64, 2401, they have something to do with the bases. Always know that. I'm given 2, it has something to do with 8. If you're not given any base there, the default is base 10, and 10 has something to do with that 1000. So I just want to show you how they don't just give numbers, they give these intentionally. And whenever you're given logs, there is one law that is most important, if not two. The first part of the law that I want to show you is, because the bases are different here, there is the law which says log base of a of b to the power of m is equal to, now that particular power, you drop it down, it is m log base a of b. So remember that law that we're going to use. And then another law that we're going to use is log base a of a. If the base and the number are the same, this is equal to a 1. So that is the main thing that they are going to be asking you there. So let us start by looking at the first one. If I'm given 3 log base 8 of 64, now 64, you must know that 64 is 8 squared. I can test that to say 8 squared is 64. So what you're going to have is 3 log base 8 of 8 squared. See that? And then this particular 2, you're going to drop it down, but when you drop it down, it was going to multiply. So it's equal to 3 times 2 log base 8 of 8. Remember, log 8 of 8 is a 1. So that's the first part. Again, look at this one, log base 2 of 64. Now, the first 64, you put it in terms of 8, but the next 64, you must put it in terms of 2. If I say 2 to the exponent 5 is 32, 2 to the exponent 6, it's 64. So this is same as log base 2, 2 to the exponent 6. That particular 6, again, you drop it. Now there was no number here at the bottom, so it becomes simple 6 log base 2 of 2. I hope you're seeing what's happening here. What about log base 7 of 2401? Again, the aim is to see how can you express log base 7 of that. So what you simply do, you try 7, just trial and error. 7 to the power of 3 is that 7 to the power of 4. You see, there is that number. So it is log base 7 2401. I mean, actually it's 7 to the power 4. So they don't just give numbers, they give numbers that they know they have got such expressions. So that will drop again, so that they've got 4 log 7 of 7. All the numbers here are like that. What about log 1000? So if you're given log 1000, you must remember the default base is 10. This is same as log base 10 of 10 to the power of 3 is the 1000. Again, drop that, which is equal to 3 log base 10 of 10. Do you see that they were relying only on matching the base with a number? So this is the particular law that is, actually those two laws are the ones that are being used, but mainly it was leading there. Now again, 2 log base 2 of 8. Remember 8 is 2 to the power of 3, which is 2 log base 2 of 2 to the power of 3. And you're going to drop that, so it's 2 times 3 log 2 of 2. Now when you write everything at once now to simplify that, do you see what we're having? If I can just simplify this, so what you're having in 3 log base 8 of 64, I have 3 times, if I can do this. So when I simplify this now further, is 3 times 2 log base 8 of 8 minus, then the next one is 6 log base 2 of 2, which is that one, and then the next one is that one, which is minus 4 log 7 of 7, everything over, and then we're here now, which is 3 log base 10 of 10 plus, and which is that, which is 2 times 3 log base 2 of 2. And then when you simplify, 3 times 2, which is 6 times 1, minus 6 times 1. Remember, log 8 of 8 is 1, log 2 of 2 is 1, minus 4 log 7 of 7 is 1, all over 3, 1, plus 6, 1. So this is what this thing is simplifying into. Now 6 minus 6 gives us a 0, which is equal to minus 4 over 3 plus 6 is a 9. So this is the answer that I'm getting. But what I was supposed to do, and the question, remember the question was, I was supposed to read this question actually. It said, simplify each of the following expressions without the use of a calculator. Without the use of a calculator. Show all the steps. Now, the fact that they say don't use a calculator, it is when you must use the calculator and then get your answer and then try to work towards that answer. So if we try to use our calculator, especially in this case, you can see I can use my calculator just to test if my answer is minus 9 over 4. So, and apologies guys, today my voice is bad because I just got some flu, not the virus, not the coronavirus, but I just got some flu, and apologies if my voice is sounding strange because of that. So okay, let's get this done. I hope you're not gonna catch it also while I'm talking with you here. So try to put your mask on so that I don't spread this flu to you guys. All right, so, and again, apologies for that. As I said, this is what I'm having, and minus log 7, so I must minus log 7 2401. Alright, all over log 1000 plus 2 log base 2 of 8. Alright, so this is what I'm having. You see, equal to minus 4 over 9, and that's the answer that we got here, because the answer that we got here was minus 4 over 9. So this is correct. I was supposed to do it first thing before working towards the answer, and then already I see that I'm working in the right direction. So I hope this you are able to see how this whole thing is working out to become. Alright, so let us move on to the next one. Remember, they say don't use the calculator, but you need to use the calculator, then work towards that answer. There is another 3 marks. It says you're supposed to simplify without the calculator that, but as I said, let's have our calculator and punch that log base 3 of 189 minus bracket log base 7 of 3, and then close the bracket to the power negative 1. Alright, so my answer there is a 3. As I said, guys, apologies, I have to, as I said, I've got some flu, so I thought of still bringing this to you guys so that I can help you in a way with your revision, but apologies for that. Alright, so with that, let us try to get this 3 in this case. So how do you get 3 from this, which is equal to, so if I can just work from it here. Now log 3 189 minus log 7 of 3 to the power negative 1. That is where you have to simplify what is that negative 1. So let us try using the calculator and see what is 3 and 89 if there is a, as I said, just the base and the number. So if we say 3 to the power of 4, let's see what I get. 81. 3 to the power of 5, 243. So there isn't any hint there of 189 and 3, because 3 to the power 4 is not. So what I can do is to use in a way to match the bases. Now I've got base 3, I've got base 7. Now there is a law that can convert the bases. So in this case, I'm going to convert base 3 into base 7. So the law says if you're given log base A of B, base A of B, or log base B, log B base A is equal to, if I'm going to convert it to log base C, so this is how you write it, log base C. So the B goes on top and the A goes at the bottom, such that if I'm given log base 3 of 189, I want to convert it to log base 7. So what I will have is log base 7 over log base 7. 189 is on top, as well as log 3 is here at the bottom. So when I've done that, I can then see what this will simplify to. So what I have now is log. You can test it to see that the answer is the same. So you just have to say here log base 3 of 189. Say the answer is 4,77. Try this one now, a fraction, to see if you're getting 4,77. So what you have is log base 7 of 189 over log base 7 of 3. See, we are getting the same answer, 4.77. So what I have then is log base 7 of 189 over log base 7 of 3. Now minus, now the next thing that I'm given there, any number, if for example, if I'm given a to the power negative 1, this is equal to 1 over a. You must remember, so that number is equal to 1 over log base 7 of 3. You see what's happening there? So now I've got a fraction that I have to deal with. In this fraction, log base 7 of 3 is the common denominator, such that on top I have log base 7 of 189 minus 1. And then if I try to simplify further there, if I'm to simplify further, which is equal to, now let us try 189 and 7 and see if in a way there is a relationship. If say 189 divided by 7, you can see somehow it is 27. Or if I can say 7 to the power of 3 is 342. Also there is no relationship, but anyway it's fine. So we're going to say log 7 times 27. I think you saw that. Let's check it again. 27 times 7, which is 189. So it will be log 7 times 27. All right, that is base 7, and then minus, in this case, 1 over log base 7 of 3. Just want to see where this thing will lead to. Now this must be a bracket like this. So now what you do, again, there is a law of logarithms. I'm just going to write it on top here. The law of log, which says if you're given log base of a times b is equal to, let's say the base is x, it will be log base x of a. Since you're multiplying, you add, you say plus log base x of b. So this is the same thing with 7 times 27. It is equal to log here. So I'll be having log base of 7 plus log base of 7 of 27 minus 1 over log base of 7 of 3, which is equal to, I think there might have been a simpler way. I'll try to check it because it starts getting on and on, but I think it's getting there. Now log base of 7 of 7, remember 7 is 1 plus log. Now 27, you must understand what is 27. If I take a calculator and do 27 is 3 times is 3 cubed, actually is 3 to the power of 3. If I say 3 to the power of 3, you see that is 27. So it is log base 7 of 3 to the power of 3 minus 1 over log base 7 of 3. This continues. Now 1 minus 1, that 1 minus 1 cancels out, so we are left with that 3. Remember, the 3 will drop down so that you've got 3 log base 7 of 3 over log base 7 of 3, and then that cancels, and the answer is the one that we checked with the calculator, which is 3 in this case. So the answer there was simplifying to become a 3. Let us move on to question 1.2. In this question now, they want us to solve for x. And as you can see, maybe if I can just make it small, we want to solve for x, and it's 3 marks. You can see that one, and we need to solve for x. So in this particular question, I'm just gonna work it here, okay? 3x to the power 3 over 2 is equal to 24, and we have to solve for x. So what we do there, the first thing is to divide by 3 such that we are having x to the power 3 over 2 is equal to 24 divided by 3 is 8. Are you seeing that? So that is the first thing. Now convert. You can find your answer straight away like this. What you do is you're going to say therefore x is equal to 3 over 2. You multiply by the inverse of the fraction, which is 2 over 3. What you do on the left, you do on the right. 8, there is a power 1 times 2 over 3, because you're multiplying by 2 over 3. So that cancels out, so that you have got x is equal to. So you find the calculator can actually give you the answer there, to say 8 to the exponent 1 times 2 over 3. So you see the answer is 4. Or from this stage of x is equal to 3 over 2, you convert 8 in terms of 2, which is 2 to the power of 3, but it's still the same. You multiply by the inverse of that, 2 over 3 times 2 over 3. That 3 will cancel. Remember, this cancels to say x to the power 1 is equal to, now it's 2 to the power of 2. You can see that. So x is equal to 4 in this case. So that is how you simply get that answer there. It is how you can do those exponents. 1.2.2 again is logs. Log base 3 of x plus log base 3x minus 1 is equal to x minus 2 is equal to 1. How do you simplify that one? Now with the logs, when the logs are adding same base, when they are adding, you multiply. And so what you do, you have got log in base 3, and then you have got x multiplied by, put a bracket there, x minus 2, and then this is equal to 1. So you have got x minus 2 is equal to 3 to the power of 1. Then you have to open that bracket, that and that. You have got x squared minus 2x is equal to 3. Take 3 backwards. You have got x squared minus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. You can use the quadratic equation here, which you can check it on the back of your paper, which is x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now you remember, this is a x squared plus b x plus c equal to 0. So you can see there is a 1. My a is 1, my b is minus 2, and my c is minus 3. So that's what I'm going to substitute there, so that I've got x is equal to minus b, which is minus from the formula, and b is bracket minus 2 plus or minus minus 2 in brackets squared minus 4a is 1, and c is negative 3, and then all over 2a is 1. Now the calculator will actually simplify everything, which is minus negative 2 plus square root of negative 2 squared minus 4a is 1, c is negative 3, and all over 2 into 1. Alright, the first value is 3, play back, put the minus, and the second value is minus 1. So 3 and minus 1 are the values of x. So we are going to say x is equal to 3 or x is equal to minus 1. Now on both answers, it's very important to prove. In the first one, I think I forgot 1.2.1. I think the answer was 4. So we say 3, where there is x, I must put 4 to the power of 3 over 2. It must give me 24. So you see the answer was correct. In the second one, I must put the value of x as x is 3. That's the first part. So log base 3. All solving for x, you can test it actually. Plus log base 3. And then I have got 3 minus 2. Remember, x is 3. Equal to, I get a 1. So the first answer is correct. Now I do the next one, which is a minus. Let me delete that. It's minus 1, minus 2, and there's negative 1. If you do that, you get an error. So x is not equal to. So that's how you write the answers there. I hope you can understand that. Now let us finalize the last one in here. And this question is 3 marks. It says we must make C the subject of the formula, and the total was 18 marks. So let us look at that to make C the subject of the formula. So you can see that if I can make it even bigger, C is inside that square root. So what do you do? Let's do first things first. Some housekeeping rules here. You first have to check the 2 pi is outside. So multiply by 2 pi over 1. What you do on the left, 2 pi over 1, you do on the right. So when you do that, you can see what you're having now. We are having 2 pi f. See that? Is equal to 1 over square root of LC. That's very, very crucial. Now, that sign square root, you must also remember, when you see square root, you must know that it means bracket to the power 1 over 2. That's what the square root symbol means. And if you want to get rid of the square root, you multiply by 2, or you can actually do this and square. So if we're going to get rid of this then square root here, we're going to say in a way 2 pi f is equal to 1 over square root of LC. So as I say, we can square this, but what you do on the left, you do on the right. That is how we are getting rid of that square root there. Now the 1 squared is still a 1, so you've got 2 pi f squared here is equal to 1 over LC. So you see how this was happening, and then it's up to you. You can say here over 1, and you can actually interchange or invert the fractions, whereby you can say therefore 1 over 2 pi f squared is equal to, again, you see this went up, this went down. We do the same thing. This goes up and this goes down. So it will be LC over 1. Are you seeing that? And then when you have got that, we then LC over 1 is as good as LC. So this is as good as LC. So we divide everything by Remember, we're making, in this case, we are making C the subject of the formula. We are dividing by L, divide by L. So there is the C being the subject of the formula. So therefore, C is equal to 1 over 2 pi f squared. It's divided by L, which is equal to 1 over 2 pi f squared times 1 over L, which is equal to, when you change division to multiplication, you put a fraction, which is equal to 1 over, okay, then right here, it's 1 over L 2 pi f squared. So that is how you're supposed to get the answer there. Alright, so let me try to use maybe another version or another approach here to say, if I was doing it in another way, what could I have done? I can actually, this is over 1 cross multiply, so that this bottom multiplies everything in f, so it's f 2 pi square root of LC is equal to 1 times 1, which is 1. So you see that, divide by f2 pi, which is 2 pi f over 2 pi f. That is another way of doing it. Do that, and then you'll be left with square root of LC is equal to 1 over 2 pi f. Then after that, you square like I did last time. You square to get rid of the square root. So you've got LC, in this case, LC is equal to 1 over, because it's 1. Actually, just want to show you this to say, when I'm given this squared, it's like I'm saying 1 over 2 pi f, and then another one, 1 over 2 pi f. That's what that squared means. So 1 times 1 is 1. So LC is 1 over 2 pi f. Everything is squared. I don't have to open that bracket there. I'm looking for C, so I can simply divide by L, divide by L, so that if you do that, you're going to have C is equal to 1 over 2 pi f squared, like I did previously, divided by L, which simplified to 1 over, remember it was like this, L times 2 pi f squared, which is similar to what we got as 1 over L 2 pi f squared. So guys, as I said, this was a revision session just to focus on question number 1 and to ensure that in a way you master this section, because once you miss this section, it in a way affects the overall performance of your answer. We have come to the end of our lesson. Thank you.